Hewitt, standing in all his splendor and glory, seemed tall compared to his former self. Now his parents understood. Hewitt did indeed know how to live among gigantic things. And because he was small, Hewitt was just as he should be. For his parents realized that big or small, either is best of all. And they could not have been more proud of Hewitt or loved him any more. And a great job following along with your finger. I really appreciate that. That help you follow through with the whole story? Mm-hmm. Great. That's a great strategy. Okay, now I want you to think for a moment about the story. And what I want you to do is think about a beginning, a middle, and an end to the story with the key details from Hewitt Anderson's Great Big Life. Now you've got a graphic organizer in front of you. Go ahead and write your name on that.
What's the date?
Today's date is November 13th.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking. You can just write Hewitt Anderson on the storyline. Okay. So take a moment, think about that beginning, middle, and end. And feel free to go use your story, your book, your textbook, to go back and look at some of these key details. You might start on page 468. You start by identifying the characters. You've got a box in your graphic organizer for identifying characters. And then you've got a box for the setting. Can anyone tell me what setting that we would write in? Lori?
It's in the house.
It's whose house?
Hewitt's house.
Hewitt's house, the Anderson household?
Yes.
Yes, you're right. Now, when it comes to the beginning, middle, and end on your graphic organizer, I'd like you to work together. See if you can find the beginning events, the middle events, and our ending events together.
Okay.
I think they were worried maybe about
At the beginning, they didn't know what was wrong with him. They thought something was wrong with him because they were so big and he was normal size. So, and he gets in predicaments like the flour thing. Who was that? Remember when she was baking?
right. I remember that.
That's a good one to add.
Yeah, she was baking and he got caught.
Hewitt on page 470.
What was she baking?
I don't remember. I gotta go back and find that.
Okay. What page did you find that? I found 476. There's a huge picture. It says the word flour on it.
Oh, she was making a 7-layer cake for Hewitt's birthday party?
She was. Could you imagine how big that 7-layer cake
With
was?
her making it?
Yes.
That would be big. I'd like a piece of 7-layer cake. Well, she worried about it for nothing because he got in that flour, but then he was able to climb out on his own.
Okay.
So that was the start of him being able to do stuff to prove them wrong.
That's a good observation. You might even write that down.
Start of, he's resourceful.
Resourceful, that's a good word.
Oh, you know what?
Did you use that off your vocabulary
I
list?
did use it off my vocabulary.
Fantastic.
It just came in my head. I didn't even look at the
Good
list.
job. You should put a marble in the jar for that.
Okay, what about, do you want us to move on to the middle now?
If you're ready to.
Are you ready?
You might check with your partner.
I'm worried. He starts to be resourceful. He was able to solve his own problem.
Okay.
And then in the middle, swimming lessons.
What page did you find that on?
478.
478.
It says today would be survival lesson 1. So they're teaching him, they're really worried about him because they want him to have all these lessons that he can, to make sure that he's able to survive. So the first one was a swimming lesson.
And how did that go?
He had already found his way out again. They worry about him, they put him in,
And
he
shows his
rescues.
talents again, and
Yeah.
he,
So would you say their survival
Solving.
lessons are a success?
Yes.
Yeah?
They're not challenging Hewitt that much, but they're teaching the parents a lot of stuff, actually.
What do you think, Renee?
I think I would agree that he does solve a lot of his own problems and is able to get out of situations he gets into.
Would you agree that resourceful would be a good
That,
word to
that
describe
would be a
Hewitt?
good word.
Okay. Could you find another word on your vocabulary list to describe Hewitt?
Relentless, maybe?
Yes?
Relentless?
Why would he be relentless?
He just keeps trying and trying and just doesn't give up.
You think that's a positive quality?
I do.
I would agree with that. Have you heard of that saying, if at first you don't succeed, try again?
Yes, I have.
I think that story reminds me of that phrase.
Okay, then he had another survival lesson. Lesson 2. Climb the beanstalk.
That's on page
Okay.
479.
Yes,
At
it
the
is.
top.
Renee, can you tell me why they were doing survival lesson 2? Can you find that detail in the story?
I see that in the event he would have to flee the path of an escaped rhinoceros from the nearby zoo.
Could you imagine that at Hewitt
No.
size?
My goodness, he would get squashed.
He would get squashed.
That would be scary. But he doesn't look very scary.
He doesn't look very scared, does he? Okay, we found a great couple of beginning events, some middle events. What about some ending events for our story?
Dr. Gargantuan's introduced.
Gargantuan. What does gargantuan mean? That's a big word, isn't it?
It is
It is a big word. It means big, large.
How can you tell that? What helped you figure that out?
Well, the picture of him,
the
Okay.
picture.
because he's the same size as the parrots. He's not the same size as Hewitt.
That's a great observation. Do pictures sometimes help us tell the story or tell what's going on in the story?
Yes, definitely.
They do definitely provide some clues, don't they? You definitely compare the size. There's Hewitt.
Yeah,
Do you see that?
Mhm.
Look how little
Yeah,
how
he's so
tiny he is.
tiny. He'd
but
be fun to have as a little brother or something.
he would be fun. But you want to understand, he's our size. These guys are the
Or
ones
the
that.
big ones.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
normal size.
Do you know what kind of clue? You see that clue right there? It tells us just how big the giants are.
I
He
see.
uses an anchor for
Oh
his
my
suspenders.
goodness.
Can you imagine that? A ship's anchor for his suspenders.
That's crazy.
Well, this is when the last problem happens.
Okay, so
The
what
big
was
he
that?
fall
conflict.
Did they get locked?
They got locked in.
in?
And Hewitt saves him because he climbs through the keyhole. He's small enough to climb through the keyhole.
Can you find that detail in the story?
Sure.
Okay.
It
Let's
is.
see what page that's on.
482.
482? Okay. Which paragraph did you find that in?
Door shut, but the key had been burned to the left in the keyhole.
Did you spot that vocabulary
Yes, I
word?
did. I see that. It's highlighted.
Inadvertently. What does inadvertently mean?
Accidentally.
Accidentally.
Not on purpose.
No.
Didn't mean to happen.
Very good. Did you find that detail yet?
I'm still
Try paragraph
looking.
3 on page 482.
Then Hewitt had an idea. Because he was so small, he managed to climb into the keyhole and maneuver through the weights, turn the gears.
That must have been hard work.
It was. But that's why he's resourceful. He finds ways to solve it.
I like how you use that resourceful word again. We kind of keep coming back to that word, don't we?
Yeah.
So I would say that's definitely a character trait for Hewitt. Would you agree?
I definitely would say he's resourceful.
Okay, so let's write that detail in our end box, ending event box. And once you've got that written in, I'd like you to look at the very last page, 483, and tell me if you can find one more detail that we can add to that ending event box.
I think that we can add that his parents realize after doing all this test and him solving this problem that he's fine just the way he is. So big or small, either is best instead of just big.
Great.
They change their minds.
I would definitely write that in. So based on all the events that we have written in today, could you pick out a theme for the story or a lesson that was learned? Can you tell me who learned that lesson?
I think acceptance.
Acceptance? Okay, who was doing the accepting?
I think his parents were.
Okay, why don't you and Renee discuss that idea and see if you could come together and pick a theme for our story.
I think acceptance on the parents' part, because there can be more than one theme. And then
no
I
matter
think,
what big or small or what you look like or what
right.
you can do, you can always be the best.
What about perseverance?
Perseverance, just keep trying.
So how can we put that into a complete sentence? That was some good discussion. And I know there's not a box on the page. We'll write it in at the bottom. Just write theme, and we'll make a statement. So how could you put that into a complete sentence based on what you just discussed?
I'm going to say Hewitt Anderson's perseverance leads to his parents' acceptance.
Okay. What would you say, Renee?
I would say that no.
You can talk it out. It's okay.
I'm trying to think.
Okay.
The size of a person or the stature of a person does not matter. They can do anything they set their mind to, and they can be very resourceful.
Okay. So let's write that into a complete sentence. I like the way you just said that. Okay, and while you're writing that, these vocabulary words that you chose to use, could you highlight those? I heard you use the word stature. Give me just a moment, we're going to catch up. And I heard you use the word relentless. And what other word did I hear? I heard
Resourceful.
Resourceful.
I think that was.
Did we use it inadvertently? Did we talk about that
We
word?
did talk about it, but didn't use it.
Okay, okay. Now excuse me, you've done a great job at finding beginning, middle, and end activities. You did a great job discussing what theme we could come up with. Now I've got one more activity for you. Okay. Now you've got two choices. We've got iPads here for you to use. Now you can choose to either create a paragraph, write a paragraph of at least 5 sentences, combining your beginning, middle, and end, like retell the story. You can do that on the classroom blog, or instead of typing it, you can do a video where you're recording yourself or you're recording your partner retelling the story using the beginning, middle, and end points that you wrote in.
I'd rather do the video.
Gonna do the
Maybe
video?
we could talk